Hello everyone, my name is Juan Martinez. Welcome to another video for our channel. I'm a Salesforce developer with 6 years of experience working with the platform, and today we're going to talk about a topic which is the capabilities offered by Salesforce for the small businesses. So this is a small cafeteria owned by one of my relatives. They specialize on creating these bakery products like cookies or biscuits, for example, and they do all of these products in artisanal. All of them are handcrafted and also using the best ingredients as well. Oftenly ingredients that are healthy or as healthy as possible, and that's basically the business that they handle. And we were looking to implement a system for them to handle all of their selling processes, like for example to record the invoices, the products that they sell, how much have the client paid for a specific order, the order generation as well, generate reports, automate as well some processes, and do all of that with a system that could be implemented quickly and without the need of any coding, because basically they wanted to have the freedom of also modifying the platform as well. So that's why we thought on implementing Salesforce for this specific use case. And we implemented basically this license, the Pro Suite, which basically enabled us to do all the major and most crucial parts of the system quickly, and deliver it quickly as well, develop it quickly, and also use Salesforce flows for automating processes. So basically, that was the license that we used, and I'm going to show you a bit of how the system looks. So basically, this is the homepage. We can see here the different records that we have in the system. We have tables, we have orders, menus, products, payment details, and invoice items. So basically, I think that the only thing that I would need to explain a bit is or are these invoice items and payment details. Basically, the payment details are all the records of payments that the specific clients have recorded in the system that we record for them. And the invoice items are all the products that they add to one order. So basically, those are the records that we handle in the system and that we focus on recording and automating. And here we can see some orders. These are the records of all the orders that have been recorded in the system. We can see here some tables as well, all the tables that we have for serving our clients. And here we can see some reports, and we will delve into this further a bit later. So that's basically the system, and I'm going to show you how it works. So basically, we start here by using this screen flow. So this says create a new order. It's in Spanish because our business is here in Colombia, in South America. And basically it says create a new order. So when I click on continue here, what I will do is that it will ask me to select that table. So let's say that we select table number 1, which in Spanish is mesa. So here we create a new order record, and here we can see some information. We can see that the order is active. We can see the table that is linked to this one, and we can see here some related lists. So these are normal related lists, and here we can handle the products and the payments. So for example, let's say that we want to add new products to this order. Let's say that we will use that we want a cookie, for example. Let's say that the quantity is 5 cookies, and we click on save. The unit price is calculated automatically as well by another flow that inputs the prices. So here we can see that in the invoice items we have 5 pistachio cookies, and we have here that the unit price is 12,000, which because it's 12,000 Colombian pesos. That's the local currency. So the total it would be 60,000. And if we go back, we can continue adding some more products. For example, some coffee, for example, this one, let's say, or 3 coffees. For example, here we can add some our products, let's say 3 of these ones. And in that way, we can record all the products that and one specific order for one specific table are required for the client. Okay, so we have a grand total of 139,000 Colombian pesos. And here we can see that we haven't paid anything, so the remaining value is still the same. So basically, when the clients want to pay for the order, we go to this order and we add some payment details records. So let's say that for this order we will pay first 100,000 Colombian pesos, and we will pay that by using cash. So we select here a payment method of cash. In this case, in Spanish, it would be efectivo, which would be the same as cash in English, and we click on save. So basically, we have paid 100,000 for this order, so we have a remaining value of 39,000, and then we can pay the remaining value, and the payment method would be maybe a card. And then we can see that the remaining value is 0 and that the order has been totally paid. So the status here has changed automatically from active to paid, which is pagada in Spanish. And that's basically the overall feature of the billing process for the cafeteria. So another useful feature that we have is the possibility that here in this license we can use Visualforce pages to generate PDFs, and with those PDFs we can generate invoices that could be printed in those small invoice printers that usually we have in every business. So for example, we can click here on print invoice, and we have programmed a small Visualforce page that basically shows all of this information. It has this font size because we needed to have a big font size so the small invoice printer could print the information and it could be easily readable. So this is basically the feature for this. We can see here all of the products and the prices, the grand total, and that's basically what we print and what we give to the client in return. So basically that's how this looks. It generates a nice PDFs, and that could be easily programmed. It doesn't even require Apex. It's just the Visualforce page, and with the Visualforce page methods of the standard controller, we can generate that PDF. This is the Visualforce page that we use for printing the invoice items related to an order, basically to print an invoice. And we can go here by clicking on Setup, then on the gear icon, then Setup, and then searching by Visualforce pages here in this search bar. Then we can click on the print order with items, Visualforce page, and we can copy all of this code to read it faster or to read it easier in a text editor. So here we can select HTML, and basically here what we do is that we use the standard controller for this object, which is called order. This is a custom object, and here what we do is basically that we here on this part we output the order details here using this syntax. We don't need to query for the order, but we receive the order from the page in which this Visualforce page is rendered. And here we have a way as well to iterate over the invoice items, the invoice item related list in this way. We don't need to do any query using Apex. Basically, we just use this, and then we just print the information of every item, the product name, the quantity, and the subtotal. And that's what we see that is printed inside the orders. For example, this one, we see that inside this part, the print invoice, as we were looking one moment ago. So basically, this is what we have, and this is the total. And all of that is done again without using Apex, just the standard controller for this object, and that's it. that's basically what we do for this Visual Force page. We can add as well some styling here to increase the font size as well. For example, font family, font size here, 35 points. And that's basically how it works. Yeah, that's basically how we have built this feature. Other thing that we do is that we also have some screen flows here in which we can do other actions. For example, adding a product as a combo. So for example, we have here some menus in the system. For example, this one. And here we see that this menu has different menu items added to it, which are really just plain products. So we have 4 products, for example, added here. Let's see, 4 products, yes. And all of them have a price and a discount that in this case is given by a plain discount amount here, for example, of 1,000 pesos. If these products are bought in combo, like inside a group. So basically, we can add these combos, these menus here to the order by clicking on this button. So this moment we have only 5 items, right? And when I click on this button and I click on add products to the combo, I select this test combo here, and then I click on finish, and I see that we have more products now. We have 9 items. We have basically all of these new items added from this to this, and they have the corresponding discounts applied. So now we have a total pay of 150 and we have paid 139. So there is a remaining value of 11,000 Colombian pesos to pay, and we then proceed to pay it. And we save. So basically, that's just one demonstration about how we can use the screen flows and the record trigger flows that are running in the background to do all of these automated tasks. Other feature that we have with this license is as well the possibility of creating reports. So that's very useful for us for this business because they can track different metrics every day. So we have all of these reports. We can take a quick look on all of them. So we have, for example, payments by type. We have here a report about payment methods. So basically, we have majority of the orders paid in cash and or group of orders paid with card, and we only have those 2. Even when we have more payment methods, we have only those 2 for all the orders that we have. We have the most the top selling products in this report. We can see that the coffee are is the most the product that is sold more constantly, and we have here some more products. For example, ice cream glass and these beers as well. And we have the amounts of all of the products that have been sold, and we can filter that by changing the dates here in this part as well, and add more filters. We have here the winnings as well. We have the winnings in divided in different time ranges. We have as well some invoices here for only for this day. So only this day we can see all of this order placed. So that's basically the feature about the reports. So now we will show how the flows work. So basically here, when we go to setup, we have different flows that help us to handle all the billing process automatically and do the math about how much does the client have to pay, etc. So here we can search for flows. And here we can see these three flows that we have created. So the first one would be the invoice item. So basically, we can open this one. So basically, this flow is for copying the information that will be stored inside the invoice item. So we get basically the product information, and if there is a discount, we assign the unit price, and then we calculate the discounts here. So we calculate the prices when there is no discount, and we calculate the prices when there is a discount here. The logic is pretty basic. It's not something that I wanted to show much because it's very specifically to this use case and to this business, but anyone that works with flows could do anything similar to this. We have as well our flow here that help us to handle the payments. So we calculate all the values for the payments here in this other flow, and by the end, we have as well here another flow that is showing some screens and help us to do different things. So one thing that I wanted to comment is that for these editions, there is a limited amount of flows that we can create, that we can have as active. So by using screen flows, we can decide which action we want to perform, and in that way we can have a single flow that can perform different actions, and we just have to select which action do we want to execute. And by doing that, we can have one single flow that does a lot of things and stay under the limits of available flows that we can use. So in that way, we don't have to pay more to have more flows. We can use one single flow to do different things, and in that way comply with that limitation. So basically, that's what we're doing here. These are different actions that we do, and all of them in one single flow. So basically, that's how the system works, and that's a small explanation about how Salesforce could help small businesses to also use it and implement a system that is pretty easy and straightforward to use, also very fast to implement, to deliver, and with a price that could be sometimes payable for different systems, for different businesses to pay. So basically, that's the video that I wanted to bring today. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Thank you.